Well, we kick it off here tonight. The deadline for the wildcat strike by Putco employees to abandon their unprotected strike has come to an end. Mohlaoli is there for us. He's watching this protest. Tumaole, good evening to you. Thanks for your time. We're looking here at a bus company that has been trying to do everything they can to get their members to stop this protest and get back to work. It doesn't look like it's working, though.
It certainly does not look like it's possible at this stage, Kathy. Of course, the deadline that the company had set for the wildcat striking workers to get back to work is effectively expiring. And they say that those workers who do not take up this, if you want to call it, amnesty window, will then have to face the real possibility of being laid off, something that is quite distressful in these difficult times post-COVID-19, of course, and the various other economic challenges facing the country. But, of course, Lindo from Putco is joining me now. And, Lindo, as the deadline looms or set to expire, what is the company's stance in terms of those workers who are still digging in their heels? Many are vowing to return tomorrow morning. Is tomorrow morning even an option?
Look, Tumaole, we can confirm that time we've given workers to actually make submissions or representations in terms of why they should not be fired by the company has lapsed. It's 5 o'clock right now. We've given them from yesterday after we issued notices for an intent to dismiss, and today we gave them until 5 p.m., which is right now. So as I can tell you, those who've made submissions, those who've made representations, they will be considered. Our teams will be working throughout the night to ensure that they consider all of those representations. But unfortunately for those who did not submit, it means that they have nothing to stand for them in terms of that disciplinary action. So it means that we will be now making sure that we prepare termination letters for those that a company sees fit to dismiss, especially those that were partaking in this illegal strike. So that process has concluded right now, and I can tell you that right now what needs to happen from all of our business units, they will be taking some of these representations in our boxes that we've created, and some of them are on email. We are going to be looking at those, but at a later stage we'll be then formulating these termination letters for workers who have failed to report for duty, even after we've made it clear that this is an illegal strike.
The burning issue is still the issue of the percentages that the workers are saying are due to them from up to 2 years back, saying that that process was never resolved. So if they make representations, does this mean that those that are successful in making those representations will be allowed back to work? And what happens with the issue of the money? Are you going to resolve it?
Look, the people that we are going to be considering in terms of these representations are people that were on an illegal strike. So they need to say why is it that the company must not fire them because of that, and they need to actually stipulate the fact that they are willing to go back to work. Other than that, there's no one who's going to be considered for anything. But you are asking about the percentage as well as the monies that the employees are demanding from Putco. And we did explain it to say that this was an issue from 2020, to say that they want that money to be paid in terms of escalations for their salaries, but also for bonuses. And we said that this is a matter that is before the Labour Court. Until the Labour Court pronounces in terms of that, we cannot move any further in terms of saying we are paying or we are not paying. All we can do is wait for that process to conclude, and then we will then comply with whatever the court has said. So in terms of us solving any monetary things right now, it's a matter that is subject to the Labour Court, and the Labour Court will inform us in terms of how to move forward. So that is the process we're waiting for.
All right. Thank you very much for that update. And Kathy, if I can quickly bring in one of the workers here who has agreed to speak to us, just to get what their understanding about this particular matter is, in terms of the very real possibility that if they didn't make the submissions, as you've heard from Lindo, it means that their jobs are on the line. But thank you very much for speaking to us on Newzroom Afrika. It is Mr. Manzini. So, Mr. Manzini, in terms of what you've heard, Mr. Ndlovu, in terms of what you've heard here, what is your response?
I can't say much. We've been through this from Thursday, then we've been hearing, and we know exactly that what we are doing right now is illegal. because now we've been trying to practice it in the other way, trying to call the employer to come to the pitch, but then it didn't happen the way we planned. So now we're in this situation where it's escalated to the dismissal. So now what we are looking forward to now is to check the other way. How can we get our money?
Okay. So you are not prepared to adhere to the company's offer of making submissions. Why are workers not prepared to take that offer?
The workers said, how can we go back to work with an empty stomach? Because now we are fighting for hunger, we are hungry. So now, how can we go back to the big bus like this with an empty stomach? So now we're not appealing to that submission that they gave us there in the box right there. So now all we want to settle is the money.
So if you don't get the money, it means you lose both ways. You had an opportunity to get the money or to get work, to come back and try to negotiate at least from the inside where you would still get some wages. But if you give up that and you also give up the opportunity to make submissions, it means you'll be out in the cold as workers. What's the way forward?
So I think that time has felt already. We had enough time to discuss about this. We even went to a head office. I was the one of the delegates that were there. So and then we didn't come with a conclusion for this. So now we think this is the end of it.
No, thank you very much. So that's the view from the workers' side, also conceding that they admit it's now the end of the road as far as the opportunity to engage with the company. So we're having both sides there, and certainly will be key to watch what will happen, because the workers had vowed to come back and continue blockading outside and protesting outside the depot here. And whether that will be successful with nowhere else to go remains to be seen. So with that, it's back to you in the studio, Pat.
All right, thanks for that update, Tumaole, Mohlaoli, of course, on the streets where much of this protest has played itself out for today.